What you're looking at is a rare photograph of Washington working not just in theory, but in practice. Captured by John Whitman for Washington Dossier, this image was taken on October 3rd, 1983, at the United Negro College Fund's Black Tie Gala in Washington, D.C. This wasn't just a fundraising event. It was a moral call to arms, drawing one of the most bipartisan guest lists of the era. The United Negro College Fund, founded in 1944, grew into more than a scholarship source. It became a national institution, reframing the conversation about Black possibility. Its slogan, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste," became one of the most famous public service campaigns in American history. By the early 1980s, United Negro College Fund, executive leadership under figures like Christopher Edley Sr., transformed the gala into a must-attend civic moment. It became a night when presidents, cabinet leaders, business icons, and civil rights champions all showed up not to be seen, but to show support. It was a statement event, a DC fixture, where absence spoke louder than applause. From left to right, the photo captures four powerful presences aligned not by ideology, but by shared purpose: Pamela Digby Churchill Harriman, Avril Harriman, Elizabeth Hanford Dole, and Frank Fahrenkopf Jr. Pamela Harriman, in an embroidered gown and corsage, had remade herself from Churchill's daughter-in-law into one of the most effective Democratic fundraisers in D.C. society. Her salons in Georgetown crowned her Washington's Queenmaker, a place where power brokers met before politics aired. A decade later, she served as the ambassador to France, honored in death with the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor. Next to her is Avril Harriman, a Cold War architect and policy legend. Governor of New York, Truman's Commerce Secretary, Marshall Plan envoy. His presence at this 1983 gala reflected a core belief that education, particularly for Black students, was a vital tool of national diplomacy and civic repair. Then comes Elizabeth Hanford Dole, glowing in metallic ruffles, her poise reflecting both pastoral compassion and political steel. Already Reagan's Secretary of Transportation by then, with seatbelt laws and drunk driving campaigns under her belt. She later led the Red Cross, served in the Senate, and founded the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, which supports military caregivers to this day. And at far right stands Frank Fahrenkopf Jr., newly appointed RNC chair and the Republican bridge builder few expected. He would go on to co-found the Commission on Presidential Debates in 1986, chairing it for over 3 decades. It became a dual-party institution, and perhaps the last remaining forum where presidential rivals meet face-to-face under rules, not rhetoric. That evening, they didn't debate. They gathered with civility as their standard and education as their cause. Today, the gala remains one of UNCF's signature events. Under CEO Dr. Michael Lomax, the A Mind Is campaign continues as a high-profile gathering. Now held annually at venues like the Westin Washington, it honored cultural icons, corporate leaders, and policymakers in 2025 who collectively raised more than $1 million in a single evening. Its legacy endures not in showy red carpets, but in every scholarship awarded. Over 60,000 students are supported annually. More than $70 million in scholarships are distributed each year. The chicken may have been rubber below crystal chandeliers in 1983. This was still before fancy gala cuisine, but the stakes were real. These leaders convene not for optics, but for outcome, to invest in future minds, to stand publicly behind access, and to make education a strategic issue, not just a philanthropic one. This image, captured in velvet and legacy, reminds us: civility is not weakness. Engagement is not performative. Presence still matters. This is what Washington looked like when it worked.